I took my first steps in that school and thought that I was gonna rule. Just a little freshie acting like a fool. Little did I know that place was so cruel. But I had a girl by my side. For 2 years she had been my ride or die. So I always saw the brighter side. Never thought our knot would come untied. But she left, that's just how it goes. Didn't stop me from letting my love flow. But nothing panned out, though it didn't cause woes. It was no big deal, I had to focus on myself and grow. Straight A student, but I wasn't too prudent. Just a douchebag who was too pursuing on impressing everybody, my old girl included. Thought we'd pick it up again when the year concluded. But then was the first time I felt in prison. Tried to get her back, but she still felt the opposition. Dating somebody else, so I wasn't in her vision. And the only way I coped was when I wrote Unforgiven. That was the first time I wrote a full song. And from then on out I wrote when I couldn't move along, or I felt I wasn't strong, or I didn't belong. Pen to paper was the only way to right my wrongs. But I never thought anything of it, just trying to keep myself from falling in a summit. So I had a notebook that was full of these rhymes that kept filling up when I was having hard times. I was just a kid with a pen and a hobby. Never once did I think the shit would embody most of my life in a few short years. For now I was just trying to fight back the tears. I crawled from the pit base, never meant to be a disgrace. Now I'm taking over this race. I guess at first I was misplaced. I somehow got on track and now I'm staying the course. And I'm breaking my way in like the Trojan horse. I have to thank this pen for helping me to begin to scream from the rooftops how I came to win. So welcome to the party I've started to create. But before we begin, I guess I gotta graduate. Now cut to sophomore year, seemed like everything was starting to clear. The world was mine for the taking, it appeared. Every day I walked in smiling ear to ear. I was talking to this girl and everything was going good. She had just got her heart broke, so I understood. I didn't want to push, so I sat back patient. Till one day I noticed she was showing hesitation. She cut me off by the next week, but she told me it wasn't cause she was trying to seek anybody else. So I made the mistake to believe her. Said when she was ready she would come back, what a deceiver. But I just sat back and waited cause emotionally I was still isolated. I already said what happened at September's end. That it started when I spotted her with one of my friends. So a few months passed, I no longer felt sad about the situation. Instead I just felt mad, only one way to cope. So I picked up a pen and let the steam out as I wrote just friends. But it took a while to finish that song because shortly after I started to feel strong. But depression inside still conjured, and I guess to this day I still place the blame on her. But the year was finally ending, no longer descending. A fresh start for me and a whole new beginning. Work on my first job and I was at my first show. So surely by the next year I was bound to blow. I was making my way over that bump, gonna go in the next year not feeling like a chump. But something inside still lumped, so I wrote it down with Pablo and released sophomore slump. I crawled from the pit base, never meant to be a disgrace. Now I'm taking over this race. I guess at first I was misplaced. I somehow got on track and now I'm staying the course. And I'm breaking my way in like the Trojan horse. I have to thank this pen for helping me to begin to scream from the rooftops how I came to win. So welcome to the party I've started to create. But before we begin, I guess I gotta graduate. Junior year was take 3 on a happy JD. On top of the world when I met AB. Deja vu never settled, though the thoughts still meddled. That I wasn't good enough and that I wasn't to the level to be fully ready for a relationship. Paranoia seeped in and it played its bit. So back to square one when she said she was done. Third time in 3 years I got shot with love's gun. It drove me kinda crazy the way it ended up. Stopped dead in my tracks before I sent it up. Thought she was the full purchase, so I just rented up. So to calm myself down I went and wrote blended up. But I had a weird feeling there was more to come. I was given 2 + 2 but I saw a different sum. I was right on my guess, she was just trying to play me. Rage took over and I wrote FAB. A few more girls came and went but to no avail. But the words still flowed, so I started my assail. Just thinking up lyrics that were clever and dope. Distracted me from everything, trying to take my hope. But a new girl came and I was kinda surprised to see somebody interested rather than telling lies. She saw who I really was through my disguise, and so I let her in, inevitably started my rise. Best choice I ever made, sweet like lemonade. There to have my back when I felt scared or afraid. Finally somebody I can trust with my heart glue, holding me together when I'm falling apart. So we made it to the summit, it was going so well. But the feeling creeped in again that I was in hell. So I left but I knew it wasn't our final dance. She took me back, so for her I wrote Second Chance. I crawled from the pit base, never meant to be a disgrace. Now I'm taking over this race. I guess at first I was misplaced. I somehow got on track and now I'm staying the course. And I'm breaking my way in like the Trojan horse. I have to thank this pen for helping me to begin to scream from the rooftops how I came to win. So welcome to the party I've started to create. But before we begin, I guess I gotta graduate. Finally a senior, a whole new demeanor. Sick and tired of every day going through procedure. Why be here when I could be at home writing? Starring in the show was the only thing inviting. Withered had dropped, knew I had to progress. So I started cooking something, sure to impress. But I had to let you know and give you a tease. So I told myself first I'm gonna drop an EP. I'll play no blind punches for the album, but our schedules didn't work out. But I had it written up and I never given up. And I'm so proud of how it turned out. Then I took a short story I wrote junior year and made it rhyme so easy then my family fell apart, wrote Epiphany. Then 2 years later on the anniversary, that's how rise came to fruition. When I realized writing was my nutrition, but I knew that I had to break tradition, so I revamped myself for this new edition. For months on end, I've been working non-stop, so when I dropped this, it would come out on top. And I've loved every second of creating this for you to turn up to, so I knew that I couldn't bore you. So I implore you to sit and recognize, just take a second, see my work through my eyes. See me sitting in the booth till 3 in the morning, or in the mirror picturing myself performing in front of big crowds, and they know every lyric, screaming my name, I can already hear it. I'm fighting just to get there, I've always been a scrapper, but till then I'm just an aspiring rapper. I crawled from the pit base, never meant to be a disgrace. Now I'm taking over this race, I guess at first I was misplaced. I somehow got on track and now I'm staying the course, and I'm breaking my way in like the Trojan horse. I have to thank this pen for helping me to begin to scream from the rooftops how I came to win. So welcome to the party I've started to create, but before we begin, I guess I gotta graduate. No telling what the future holds, but I'll take a guess. I know all the work I give will give me success, and I'm gonna be the best, and I'll outlive the rest. It's a fact as clear as the S on my chest. Before I saved the rap game, I had to save myself, but here on out I'm staying out of my personal hell. Now you know my story like the back of your hand, and you're some of the first of my billion fans. But I won't get ahead of myself, I'll just sit back and watch as the shit I drop wows you and leaves you all shocked. And JD Payne still will be a household name down in the Hall of Fame for saving the game. And it's starting right here, so you're all blessed to witness. I'm bringing you up with me if you're with this. Fuck with me, now it'll be worth your while, cause I'm never stopping, never flopping, killer with style. Now I'm coming, and ain't no way in hell you gonna stop this. And I'm sure by album 3 I will have found a way to top this. The future's looking bright, cause I stepped in the light. I knew I was right to always put up a fight, but fuck the past. I've already risen and I've saved my best for last, but I don't need supervision to see I'm soaring with precision like a bird, like a plane. And you know I'll come back at you like a fucking batarang. It's insane, the way I kill it, so inhumane. I guess from here on out I'll go by rap Saddam Hussein. So I live by the pen and I die by the pen, and surely I'm gonna go to hell for my sins, but fuck it, I'll always live my life in the moment, because if writing this has taught me one thing, it's that I should own it. So I'm out to GA, but I'm not going away. I'll leave this legacy with you, just make sure you display, and I'll remember you too, I won't ever forget. I spent my childhood here, all the goods and regrets, they all just seem like vignettes, but now it's special effects. I'm cutting all the negativity out with a bayonet. The only reason I stayed was to complete my education, but now I'm out, so you'll see what's next after graduation.